one of them the wisdom that they need to do the city's business. Father, I lift up the city employees, the department heads. Father, as we come into as winter approaches, I pray that you would keep everybody safe as they're out and about doing their jobs. Father, your will be done, and may all that we do glorify your Son's name. And in his name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
I hope you didn't walk up here in that cold.
No, I did not.
Well, that's good.
I stepped out of the house and I wanted to go back in.
Oh, it was
Damn, that's
nasty out.
cold.
Cold.
Call the meeting to order and begin with the pledge. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and seconded to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Approval of the minutes from our last meeting are found on pages 1, 2, and 3. That's from the November 3rd meeting.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes of our previous meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Public input.
I don't have any.
Okay, we're moving on to unfinished business with the second reading of the 5 ordinances. And so the first one is the second reading of ordinance number 763, the water rates for fiscal year 26.
I think, I'd like to point out so that the public knows that this is basically just raising the base rate on most of these, other than one, and it does not raise any of the surcharges that we use to pay off the debt for financing all the improvements that were done in the city the last 5 to 6 years.
Okay. Well stated. Anything else?
Well, I'd like to add that part of that is, or most of that is because the people that we are getting power or water from have raised their rates. And so it doesn't leave us much choice but to.
And we just matched the rates that were sent, we were charged.
Right.
Okay. Well stated. Anyway, entertain a motion for that, the second reading of ordinance number 763.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, these do require a roll call vote, so, second reading, so, Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Alderman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderman Auk,
Aye.
Alderman Price,
Aye.
Alderman Gobb,
Aye.
Alderwoman Hargens.
Aye.
Okay, motion is all in the affirmative, motion carries. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 764. That's a sewer raise for fiscal year 2026.
No move.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, again, a roll call vote. Alderman Price,
Aye.
Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Alderman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderman Gobb,
Aye.
Alderwoman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderman Auk.
Aye.
All in favor say, as, all in favor had said yes, so motion carries. Is that right? Second reading of ordinance number 765, electrical rates, fiscal year 26. Entertain a motion and a second for that.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Alderman Gobb,
Aye.
Alderman Price,
Aye.
Alderman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderwoman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderman Out.
Aye.
All in favor said aye. Motion carries. Second reading of ordinance number 766, 2026 appropriations. Entertain a motion to approve that one.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote again. Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Alderman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderman Auk,
Aye.
Alderman Price,
Aye.
Alderman Gobb,
Aye.
Alderwoman Hargens.
Aye.
All in favor said aye. Motion carries. On item number 6, or number 5 is second reading of ordinance number 767. The MPD administrative fees. Entertain, that was the right one, wasn't it? I
Yep,
didn't
another
skip one.
police
Okay.
department, yeah.
Entertain a motion for ordinance number 767.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve ordinance, the second reading of ordinance number 767. Alderwoman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderman Gobb,
Aye.
Alderman Price,
Aye.
Alderman Auk,
Abstain.
Alderman Hargens,
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Ordinance number 767, passed with one abstention. Motion carries. All right. Holiday, we had a discussion last week, and we have, with regard to Thanksgiving, the day after, and also, which talked about the possibility of maybe closing the city hall on Friday afterwards, and then also because Christmas falls on Thursday this year, doing the same with regard to the day after Christmas.
Make a motion to give Black Friday and the day after Christmas off for holiday in accordance, or in matching what the state is doing.
Second that.
Discussion.
Well, I don't feel that we need to do that. We checked around like Mid-Dakota and they don't do that. If you want that day off, you take a
Vacation.
vacation day or whatever, but I don't think you have to follow what the state does it every time they do something. So I'm gonna be a no, I can tell you that.
Okay.
I had the same thought. The worst part is when we have City Hall physically open, we don't have the ability. I'm guessing a good majority of the city workforce would want to just take their vacation day or whatever day they want to use and that, but then essentially it creates us as closed for business, or open for business, but not functioning. So that's the sticky part that I had of, if all three in the finance office want to take that day off.
I know
for
when,
vacation day,
yeah.
but then no one's here to answer the phones. That's the sticky situation I have
Well,
with it.
the other sticky situation, we just spent 6 weeks here trying to balance the budget for next year. And look what, on the police department, what that's gonna do. I mean, that's all gonna be overtime for that day.
Yep, that's gonna
24
be
hours
extra pay.
overtime.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that sticks in my craw, if we do this.
And I was thinking too, it's just, when I was working, we never got the day after the holiday. And in a case like this, where you have one day after Christmas and one day after Thanksgiving, well, you worked it out in your office so that one person was there on one of those days. Because I know one time I was in there all by myself answering the telephone after they sent out a great big, sent a letter out to everybody that got everybody calling. But that's just the way it was. Someone had to be in that office.
How many vacation days do we have currently?
It is 12, isn't it?
How many holidays? Paid holidays? It's 12.
So you're gonna go up by a sixth. You go up by 1/6.
Would this be considered a paid holiday?
Sure it is.
Well,
Yeah.
if you
If you close
City Hall,
close City Hall,
Okay,
Yeah, and anytime, if you had an outage or something like that on that day that you have that holiday, they're gonna get holiday pay. And we had quite a time, we put, you know, we did give lots of raises this year and stuff, and it's hard to make this balance. So I don't know. Anyway, I would vote no on it. I'm sorry. And it's nothing against anybody in the office or anything like that. I have nothing personally against anyone, but it's just that I don't think we need 2 more holidays. I'm okay with like Mid-Dakota, what they do is on, which day it was. It's the day before Christmas. They close at noon, so people can go home and get ready for Christmas, you know? And I'm okay with something like that, but not 2 full days off for a holiday.
My hangup with it is that it directly is gonna cost us a couple $1,000 for one day that isn't a scheduled holiday.
Yeah, because, you know, it's just extra cost, and we're having a hard time making things, you know, getting our budgets to balance. We took a long time doing that.
I would offer a substitute motion that we leave the beyond policy on holidays as is and do not offer those 2 days.
did we get a second on the first motion?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll second Dale.
what's your motion?
To leave it as is. That we do not give the day after Thanksgiving or the day after Christmas as a holiday.
I do have one question.
right, go,
That does the fact that it's not meshing with the state holiday, the way the state does the holiday, is the state government is closed. Does that have any negative impact on the city being able to do business in any way?
the question was asked if the state being closed on a holiday like that, if that affects anything that the city does with regard to that situation.
I don't believe it would. If someone had a question where they would need to call the state, you just couldn't call them that day, but how often do you call the state? Anyway.
It wouldn't affect how we do business. It's just we got, at the state level and the county level, they're taking those days off.
I didn't think it would, but
Yeah.
I was just assuming.
Yeah. And the state is a bigger entity than the city of Miller, so.
I would be willing to somewhat compromise and be okay with adding those holidays if we put the police department on call for both of those 2 days. The financial issue is my hangup.
The thing with Christmas, this is the only time, the next year is Christmas is gonna be on a Friday, then Christmas, it's just gonna roll back where that's not gonna be an issue. So,
I personally don't have an issue with it, I guess. I think more time spent with your family, the better. So,
I do believe with the on-call policy that was brought up that may or may not come up, or may or may not pass in new business. that was discussed with Ted on being a possibility for those holiday days, and it's not double time, it's
Yep.
holiday plus on-call rate. Or your paid off holiday, but then your on-call time instead of double time.
Okay, now testing my parliamentary procedure, we'll vote on the substitute motion.
If that passes, that's it.
That's it, okay? All right,
Does-
vote on which one?
Does
the
the,
substitute motion, we'll make a motion on,
you can't do that parliamentary because we have two different people making the motion. We have the original motion and
The
second.
substitute motion supersedes the original motion. If the substitute motion passes, the original motion goes away. Because you're substituted that for the original.
But you made the second, you didn't make the original.
I didn't
motion.
make the original motion. Somebody over here.
So
made it.
someone else can just substitute the motion and it,
Yep.
and that's the way that I recall the process. It's almost like kind of making an amendment to a bill, and you vote on that, and if it, and then you move on, okay? So the substitute motion was to leave the paid holiday as is, correct?
Correct.
Did I have a second to that?
There was a second.
There was a second, okay. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no?
nay,
Okay,
Better do a roll call.
yeah. Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Alderman Price,
nay.
Alderman Harkins,
Aye.
Alderman,
Aye.
Nay.
and
Aye.
Alderman Lewis. Okay. Let the record say there was a 4-2 vote in leaving it as it is. Motion carries.
So then the original one just dies?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
The original one's gone.
Is, okay, any, okay, so, that's, okay. Airport and, improvement project, Webster Scale Incorporated, estimated number, estimate number one, for $16,920, that's found on pages 11 through 12.
So even though they're not starting construction right now, Helms said that we do pay them 25% of the mobilization, which is 16,920. The full mobilization, according to the bid, is 65,000.
It was hard.
Why is it Webster scale? Do they have to come in and weigh all the, whatever material comes in or what?
That's just the name of their company.
Oh, that's the name of the company?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're more than just a scale company, apparently.
I move to approve estimate number one for $16,920 with Webster Scale Inc.
Second. Discussion?
Why is it called an estimate?
That's what it's, I was gonna, it's on page 11 through 12. So does that mean it's just
That's
an
the
estimate?
farm that Helms puts all of the pay requests on.
Was it part of the contract, or is it
An
an
estimate?
I suppose they're
Well, I'm-
estimating how much they're gonna have to use.
Seems like to me there's a difference.
Unless that's an estimated cost, what it's gonna cost for the mobilization, I don't know if that's the only,
But it shouldn't really matter.
I
It's all
know,
bid.
I know. And I agree.
Periodic payment estimate is what it says on there.
Cause then at the bottom it says
Do you want me to call
base,
Mike?
base bid total. So you got
Probably
estimate and
answer.
bid on the same.
I'm not trying to be a pain.
No,
Mayor,
but
just-
I think there needs some clarification because it usually invoice number whatever instead of an
Right.
estimate number.
See if I can get him to be on speaker here.
This is just the title of the form he's using, I don't know.
This Mike?
Hey, Mike, this is Cindy Duder in Miller. Sorry to call you so late. We're at a city council meeting, and the council has a basic question.
Sure.
So Alderman Jones asked, why is it called an estimate for this estimate number 1 and not a pay app?
That's just always the language that we can put payment application on there. I've had that a few times now as of late, but that's always been the verbiage that we've always had. Not saying that's the right or wrong answer, but we've always called them partial pay estimates or PPEs.
Okay. Are
Now,
you-
for the future, I can change the verbiage on the top of there. That's not a problem.
Well, this is Mayor McGowan. I was just, I think there was just more or less clarification why the term estimate was on there, Mike. And that's basically, like I said, the question.
Okay. Yeah, it's not really, I don't have a great answer for you, to be honest. So yeah, some call them pay estimates, some call them pay applications. But like I said, I mean, I would have zero problem for, even on this one, I could change the verbiage on it and resend it. That's not a big deal. That would be easy, but
But it's a set
totally
bid.
preference for you guys if you want me to do that.
I'm just gonna speak for myself. I don't know if that's necessary. We just wanted maybe some clarification on why it was estimate rather than,
Sure.
okay, all right.
Okay.
You know what, but I will dig into maybe if there's anything in the CFRs or anything that say that, but like I said, we can certainly provide you maybe a better answer. I'll send you and Cindy an email.
That sounds good to me. All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
Questions?
that's fine.
Okay, thank
Anything
you.
else?
Yep.
Yep.
nope.
All right.
Have a good
Thanks.
evening.
You guys have a great night.
Yeah,
Have a
you
good
too,
night.
thank you.
Bye.
Good question, though. Do we have a motion and a second?
Yep.
Okay, have a motion and a second to pay Webster Scale Incorporated the estimate number 1 for $16,920. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on their new business is the airport engineer selection. Now, I'm assuming something here, so Helms and Associates are our current engineer. And those engineer agreements go for a 5-year term. So,
It's not necessarily an agreement for a 5-year term. It's, we just ask for their proposal for their services for the next 5 years.
very good. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
All right. That's why you're sitting there. Okay, so what I would do is I would, if the council approves, I'll make a motion to, or entertain a motion to select Helms as an associate as the city's engineer for the airport for the next 5 years.
So moved.
Second.
And
Discussion?
yes, I would like to also make clear to the public that we did request proposals from 2 other entities that did not return a proposal. One was DGR and the other one was KLJ.
Okay.
So noted, thank you. So, have a motion and a second to select Helms and Associate as a city engineer for the airport for the next 5 years. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. On-call policy for the police department. Those can be found on pages 13 and 14, and I will read through that. The Miller Police Department on-call policy. Number 1, entitled Scope. This policy applies to the hourly, operational, and classified non-exempt, as defined by the Fair Labor Standards Act, employees of the City of Miller Police Department. Item 2, purpose. The purpose of this policy is to provide guidelines to the department heads and supervisors regarding the process and procedures to be followed for hourly and operational non-exempt employees who are required to maintain their availability after hours and be on call to come back to active duty or to otherwise be available to respond to emergency situations. This policy is consistent with the provisions of the Fair Labor Standards Act. 3, policy and procedures. A, on-call requirements. Management shall provide employees who are required to be on call with a schedule of the time and date that the employee must be on call. In addition, the following guidelines apply. The employee must remain available by telephone and radio while on call and remain within a 1 mile of the city limits. Second one, if emergency requires the employee to return to active duty, he or she must do so upon learning of the emergency. Third one, the employee is not required to restrict his or her activity while on call, but the employee must remain in compliance with the city's alcohol and drug policy, and that's the City Employees Policy Manual. Item number 4, if the employee has a conflict and is unable to be on call during his or her assigned time, it is the employee's obligation to prearrange with his or her co-workers for replacement to cover the employee's on-call shift. Item 5, generally expected response is 15 minutes. And item 6, employees who fail to respond when called and or who fail to find replacement are subject to disciplinary actions. Under the policy procedures B, on-call pay. On-call pay will be stated in the annual salaries resolution. If an employee is called to come back to active duty while he or she is on call, the employee is paid for hours actually worked, subject to a minimum of 2 hours of callback compensation for the on-call shift. This 2 hours of callback pay counts as time worked for the purpose of calculating overtime and is paid in addition to the on-call pay. The police department receives overtime pay after 86 hours per pay period based on FLSA police and fire maximum hours. An employee receives a minimum of 2 hours of callback pay for each time that employee is called back to active duty unless called back within the original 2 hours. Example, if an employee has already worked 86 hours, when he or she is on call, he or she will receive on-call pay. Next one, in addition, if the employee is called to come back to active duty and then work for 30 minutes, the employee will receive 2 hours of callback pay that will be paid at his or her overtime rate. So, in this example, the employee will be paid 86 hours at his or her regular rate, the on-call rate for the number of hours on call, and he or she will receive an additional 2 hours of callback pay that will be paid at overtime rate. Item C, tracking on-call time. Employees will enter the start and end time of being on call on their timesheet to be calculated at the on-call rate. Employees will enter the start and end time of being called back to active duty using a minimum 2-hour callback pay to be calculated in overtime calculations.
I would move approval of the on-call pay policy for the police department.
Second.
Discussion. Where in here does it say notifying, that police officer will notify the supervisor?
That was,
Did I read that?
It
You
was
missed
bullet
it.
point
Yeah, it was-
5 on the policy procedures A. It's the last sentence of that
yeah,
bullet point.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, gotcha. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And I thought I did. All right. Any further discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the Miller Police Department on-call policy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
abstain.
Okay, and one abstain. Okay, now, the next thing is to set an on-call rate and $3 an hour, or $3,
Yep.
okay. Set an on-call rate at $3 an hour.
Yep, so moved.
Okay,
Second.
discussion. Hearing none, motion is made to set the on-call rate at $3 an hour. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
I'll abstain on that too.
One abstain, thank you. Okay, the next item of business is to the wage for the ballpark and ballpark head maintenance personnel. And I believe the finance, did we talk about that in the finance committee? Was it $20 an hour?
Okay.
I'm thinking that's what it,
That's what was
Cindy's shaking her head
calculated
yes,
to set the
that's what we
budget.
calculated that, okay?
Yeah.
All right? So with that said, I would entertain a motion to set the wage of the head maintenance personnel for the park and ballpark at $20 an hour effective January 1st, 2026.
I move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to set the wage of the head maintenance personnel for the park and ballpark at $20 an hour effective January 1st, 2026. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Abstained. Abstained.
Abstain, okay.
Okay.
Last item on is a building permit to replace and extend fencing. Lavore?
Bluvier.
Levier. I asked you that already, haven't I? All right,
Make a motion to approve the building permit for Bellevue.
Second.
discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve the building permit for Bellevue LLC to replace and extend its fencing at, for the record, is 501 East Third Street. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Move to approve the bills.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve the bills. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Move to adjourn.
Okay. Make the record indicate that
Oh.
Alderman Jones abstained.
Okay.
Move to
And
adjourn.
you have the other two abstains, okay.
Second.
Okay, motion made and second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
It's quick. Everybody wants to go see the Cowboys get beat.
No, I tell you what, I wanna.
You're gonna have to try harder at making these entertaining.